Okay, so I've spent some time smoothing this out, and I'm pretty happy with the result I'm getting here. I kind of like the texture. You know, paint roller and then flattening it down and just kind of letting the spots be where they are. We've got the paint roller and then knocked down over that with that 2-foot blade, and the texture came out really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. Come up here. Ha ha ha. All right, that's not working. All right, what we're gonna do here is get ready to do another coat of skim, or another skim coat on our ceiling. So to get that running, we have this Easy Sand mud here. Just need to open this up. All right, and that's fairly firm. So we're gonna need to do some mixing here. And this is a refill. I am not so crazy as to use just a water bottle for that. Man, old Sparky is making some weird smells, so I had to turn the speed down. Okay, I think that's about right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the roller and a bucket of water so I can start soaking this tool, and then we will start seeing if we can put some of this mud up on this ceiling and get another thin coat of skim coat. All right, I have my roller ready, and what we're gonna do is just see if this can pick up some mud or if it's gonna be too thick still. I don't know, that seems like it's kind of thick. I think that's too thick. All right. I don't know, what do you think? Maybe it'll work. I think maybe a little bit thinner. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's better. So, all right. I think we can get started here. I'm gonna get my pole and we're gonna get to skim coating. All right. We're making quite a bit of progress here on getting mud up on our ceiling. It does seem to be going on pretty well. And my goal is to get about half of this room coated with some mud and then start to smooth it out. And we're getting pretty close to being about halfway. There are a couple of spots here that we need to get a little better. And then we can start knifing. And like around this light fixture, I think it especially needs it. So we'll put our lid on the bucket. And what we're going to start doing is going from the corners and taking some of this mud off. Put it back in the bucket. All right, that's smoothing out quite a bit. I'm getting some bubbles. Well, I will say this tool is a lot easier to use overhand. And what I'm going to do is overfill some mud here. Because this is a definite low spot. And it's not really coming out. Okay, it's a little better. All right. I think that's pretty good. So I think there's a couple little spots in here where we could probably use some more mud, but I don't know. I might just leave it, except there is one spot for sure that needs more mud, which is right here. I do plan on doing a skip trowel texture on this ceiling, so I'm not going to sweat it too much. The main thing I want is for the swirls to be gone. So let's get some mud going again, and let's do the other half of this room. Oh gosh. Oh man, I'm paying for this. That mud glopped up a lot. I may have made a mistake because what I did is I put my roller in a bucket of water and I didn't really squeeze it out very well. And now the whole bucket is pretty gloopy. Like, I think it'll be still okay on the ceiling, but it was a little bit hard to work with. I'm gonna try and mix it up a little bit more in this bucket. Yeah, it's not like rolling very well. All right, maybe if we try a little bit less, it'll be a little bit better. Oh yeah, less mud at a time. Okay. All right, I think we're working into a groove here. There's a lot of mud missing there. All right, that's turned out pretty well. Okay, so I spent some time smoothing this out, and I'm pretty happy with the result I'm getting here. I kind of like the texture. You know, paint roller and then flattening it down and just kind of letting the spots be where they are. Especially as the mud kind of firms up, it really kind of comes together and makes a nice texture and smooths out a lot more. So again, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I might not even do texture over this. I might just kind of leave it as is. Maybe knock it down with some sand and go from there. I think that's about it for now. Actually, there's one spot right here I want to knock down. And I think around this light fixture, could use a little work. And there's a couple little lines here. We could get out. But yeah, I think that's a good start on a texture. So there's the after. I kind of fixed it up a little bit. Okay. And what I'm trying to do is just take any like hard straight lines out. Okay. So, done a bunch of fussing for 15 minutes or so. I'm not gonna fuck with it. So I've done a bunch of fussing for about the last 15 minutes. I am not gonna mess around with it too much more. Right here, right around this light fixture, I've cleaned that up quite a bit. And just in general, everything's looking pretty nice and smooth. So I think we're getting close as far as the ceiling in this texture and everything. Again, I'm pretty happy with the way that it looks. I might need to do a little bit of light sanding on it to take out some of the trowel marks if they really bug me. But overall, I'm pretty happy. So, all right, that will do it for now. We are back with a little bit more progress on our Drywall Dungeon. One of the things that I've done since I've last recorded is I've gone in and touched up a little bit of this texture on the ceiling. And I've done just a very basic like light sanding over it. There's just some little areas in the ceiling where it had some trowel marks and some little dips that I wanted to fill in, just to make it a little bit more complete looking and finished. And I'm really happy with the texture, you know, that's come out of it. We've got the paint roller and then knocked down over that with that 2-foot blade, and the texture came out really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. There's maybe a little bit of sanding I still have to do after some of the patching I did. But aside from that, it's all very good. One of the other things I did is I went and I put in a really temporary light fixture here just to make it a little bit easier to work in this room. You know, I did have this spotlight, but it isn't necessarily the best kind of light for filming because of the frequency cycling on the camera and all of that. Our outlets over here are all doing really well. You know, we have this one over here I replaced and got it all nice and buttoned up. These outlets are sitting very nice here. This one, it's all wired in. I do need to like carve around, you know, these little receptacle box holes, but that should just plop right in there very nicely. So I'm happy with that. And overall, everything's really going well with this whole project. I just need to make a little bit more progress on the skim coating of these walls. You know, we have, again, all of this just raw drywall we've put in, and it's kind of connecting into some old drywall, which had some earthquake damage and all of that. And so we just need to skim coat all of this. My goal in the next few hours here is to try and skim coat both of these walls with the bare drywall and get them ready for paint. Anyway, so for us to really get started on all of that with the skim coating, what I need to do is kind of rearrange the deck chairs and all the stuff in this room just to make it a little bit easier to like sling the mud, get everything mixed up and all of that. So we'll pause here. I'm gonna get everything ready. We'll start mixing up some of the mud and getting it ready to go on with the roller. All right, we've got some fresh mud here. That mud is a little bit low to use with a roller, and I also kind of need to rehydrate it. So I might mix this in with another bucket a little bit later, but I want to open this fresh one and get it going. Also, little update on tools. I went and got myself a new 6-inch knife. Had this old one that I've been using. It's okay, but it's clearly getting rusty and stuff like that, and I don't know, this is like a beater one now. But these other style by Wallboard that are just like all steel, this one's a DeWalt. I think this one is too. But these are a lot nicer. They're easier to clean up and make way better tools overall. I like the amount of flex and everything they have in them. And then another thing is I found a Hawk. I've had that for probably 10 years, but I really just forgot about it. And I found it again recently when I was looking through some of my tool storage. The Hawk is definitely a little bit easier to deal with in a lot of instances when you're just doing like little touch up and stuff like that. So I'm a real fan of them. And we need to make this mud a little thinner. It's more water than I expected. I'm gonna get that cleaned up. All right, got that cleaned up. This is a hardwood floor, so I don't wanna like leave pooling water on it. We are going to refinish this. I think for now, we are ready to get started. So, for a roller, I've got, I think this is like a 1.5 or 1.25 inch nap. And I've been using the same roller throughout all of my work, doing the ceiling and everything. And it seems to be holding up pretty well. You know, you just got to make sure you dunk it in water and rinse it in the sink, and it does okay. Let's see if we can rig up our camera here. So we'll see how this mix does. It might be a little bit too dry. It's looking like it might be. Let's get a little bit of moisture. See if that'll help soak up some of this mud. Yeah, I think that worked. And come up here. Ha ha ha. All right, that's not working. Helped it with some of the mud, but look at all that squeeze out. Let's try this again. All right, we were struggling to get it to roll, but seems like that's fixing itself. And this is starting to go on really nice. All right, we're just down to a couple little spots here at the bottom. All right, we're getting close to done with this first wall, which is pretty nice. My battery is also getting very close to being over. So hopefully, before I run out, we can finish. I will say this does give you quite a workout. Not that this is exceptionally heavy or anything, it's just you're kind of doing like a 3-pound bicep curl 100 times. So it's not the weight, it's the reps. There are a couple little spots over here I noticed that are kind of bare. And right here above this outlet is a little bit. So hopefully this comes across. Might help to get a little bit more light. But we do have a nice good coat of mud all the way around. So I'm about to run out of battery, so we will come back when I'm powered up again. All right. Got our 2-foot blade here, and I think we can start from the bottom and go up. Oh, lovely. There was some kind of little thing in there that goofed us up pretty bad. Let's see if we can smooth it out. Again, I'm going from the top of the ceiling. I'm going to come down. All right, looks like we got a lot of it out. Okay, I think that did pretty good. Got one little flaw up there, because there's some junk in there. Just come down like that. All right. And a little bit low there. Yeah, and I think we're gonna have to mud a little bit extra around this corner here. And I've got a little bit more texture than I want in some of these areas. That's okay. We can just come in and take some of it out. I can come in after, and if I don't like some of this texture, I can fill it in. Or do whatever I want. I can coat it again. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I'm not going to mess with that too much more. And then got a big streaky clump right there. And on this section especially, I'm going to have to come in and tune some of this and sand and kind of get some of these trowel marks out, because I don't want to overwork this mud too much, because sometimes it's better just to leave it. See, there's this really well, damn it. I don't know. This is bugging me right here. And there's some trowel marks and stuff. But I'm pretty happy with it. And again, if it really bugs me, I can come back and tune this up after it's dry. It's going to be a lot easier to do that. That's what I did with the ceiling. There were some areas where I wasn't really happy with it, and it was just very easy to come in and fill or sand and get things tuned right. So I think we are good to go for now on our first wall, and we can get started on coating our second one. I'm going to show you from my perspective. How does this show up on film? Not very well. I think I'm going to go back to the first person. All right, so there we go. We've got a lot of this done. I am running a little bit low on mud, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish the rest of this with my bucket, but we can give it a shot. I'm going to smooth up some of this because we're going to get some mud back by knifing it. See, all of that kind of came clean, so I can keep that in our good bucket. And that's giving us a pretty decent amount of mud back. All right, this corner is going to be a little bit of a challenge because we've got that outlet so close to the wall. Yeah, I've got a pretty bad trail mark there. And some down there. I'm not going to fuss with them. Okay. We do have a couple little trowel marks and things like that. Again, I'm not too worried about them. I'm going to get them later. I think we've got just barely enough mud to get us through this next section of the wall. All right, we're a little sparse over here, but hopefully it'll turn out. Let's get the knife out and we'll see. All right, and down there's a little bit of a hump and some unevenness, so I think I'm gonna have to go over that again. See how it's really thin at the bottom and then thick here and just all over the place. Okay, I am pretty happy with that texture too. Again, a little tuning here and there, I think, especially down there under that outlet and in this section right here, and we'll be good to go. So I think now that this has had a chance to set up, can come in and tune that a little. And yeah, overall, we're looking very good. There will be a little bit of patching here and there that we'll have to do, but I'm not gonna fuss over it right now. Yeah, that's looking really good. I think some of these trowel marks will stand out. There are, you know, some trowel lines here. I don't know why, but especially in this area. So I might have to go over this again. I don't know. I'll make a decision about that later, but I'm really happy with what we've got here. So, again, this is another episode of Drywall Dungeon. There are going to be multiple little additions to this. You know, we've done these two walls here. I still have to pull trim. So we're gonna skim coat this wall and around there and around the closet in a future video. And we've got a bunch of trim work to do. All of the baseboards, we're gonna do crown molding. I'm gonna do the windowsill here. Again, all of that is in some future videos. So again, I'm not a professional. I'm a DIY kind of guy. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And if you like the video, like the video. We'll see you on the next one.